So that is a closed system. In science, they would call that a closed system. All that's happening is thought, feeling. And no one can break into that, okay? No one can intervene on that. It's as soon as you have the thought, you're going to have the feeling, okay? Now, if you go away from this DVD and the only thing you get out of it is, gee whiz, I didn't realize it. My feelings were caused 100% by my own thoughts. That's going to help you. Because if you don't think your feelings are caused by your thoughts, you're going to think they're caused by the outside world, events and circumstances. And because they're not linked to events and circumstances, it would be like trying to steer your car with a rearview mirror. And every once in a while, you turn your rearview mirror to the right, and the car goes to the right. You say, hey, I'm onto something here. But the rearview mirror is not connected to the drive shaft. You see? So you can't. No matter how good you get with a rearview mirror, you're not going to do well at steering your car. Thought is a steering wheel. Thought is connected to feelings, and nothing else is connected to feelings. Now, what happens to people when they realize this is let's say they get, I don't know, they have an exam that they have to do, and they get tense and tight about it, and then they get more tense and they get more tight, and then they suddenly wake up and they say, whoa, I'm thinking myself into a tense state. My thought is making me tense right now. But for that thinking, I wouldn't be tense. Okay? So all of a sudden, when they realize that in real time as an insight, it will not get any worse, and it will start to fade, because they won't be as frightened because, oh, it's just my own thoughts. When people truly realize it's just their own thoughts, it's not as scary, and it starts to fade, and it doesn't have the reality. They don't think, oh, I'm justified being frightened here, and this exam really is scary. They realize, no, it's just in my own thoughts. Okay? So their mind calms down a little bit, and they start getting a new thought, wiser thought, and they think they see the exam in a different light, and they realize, gee, if I'm not tight, I'll do great in the exam, and I'll do my best. And they realize it's not the end of the world, and there's a lot of wise thinking that comes when people's minds clear up a little bit. So when their personal thinking gets neutralized by realizing it's just thought, they have new thinking, wiser thinking that serves them. Let me give you an example of what this looks like in real time. Husbands and wives, parents and children, they have discussions. Okay? And sometimes the discussions work out really well. They reach a meeting of the minds. And sometimes they go in the other direction. They get adversarial, more conflict. Both people walk away unhappy. The only time, the one thing that's in common with discussions that don't work out is the feeling of the participants during the discussion. Because when people are caught up in their thinking, and they know they're caught up because they don't have a good feeling, they don't think well, they don't listen well, they don't respond well, they don't have good ideas. Everything works against them. And when they're not, when they have that feeling of well-being and their mind is free, they have good ideas, they listen well, they have a good feeling about, respect, and the discussions go really well. The only reason that people don't, the only reason you have the feeling that you have is because of your thinking. And that when that thinking leaves, the feeling you have will be based on what your new thinking is. Okay? And human beings have a wonderful capacity. As soon as they back off their thinking, because they know that it's not working for them, to come up with new ideas, new thinking that even surprises them. You have this infinite capacity for genius and creativity. And that is awakened when people understand the nature of our thinking and the link that it has to feelings. It's, I know this sounds really simple. And the reason it sounds simple is because it is really simple. You get 40 people in a room and every one of them, without realizing it, is generating these thoughts. These thoughts are brought to life by consciousness, brought to the senses, and then they have an experience and a feeling as a result of that thought. If they know that that's what's happening, it's very different. They have a learning curve. They learn how to change their minds, how to get over their reactions. If they don't understand that, they try to do all the correction out in the world. They get try to get their mate to be nicer and their kids to be nicer and the environment to be nicer, and they're steering with the rearview mirror. One of the things that people ask when I talk about the way thought works, the link between thought and feeling, is they say, well, George, what does it look like? Like, what happens? I mean, suppose a person does have really good thought recognition. Suddenly, out of the blue, they remember, wow, it's just my thinking. Well, what happens is, in my mind, it's humbling to people. It's humbling. Oh, you mean I brought this on myself? And they get a little humble, and the humility gives them a nice feeling. Humility is a really nice feeling. And then that feeling clears their mind, and then their innate intelligence, their creative process, that transcendent intelligence that we all share as human beings, comes through in the form of new ideas, new perceptions. They see the situation differently. And it's a very natural process. A person gets caught up in their thinking, which really is the rule rather than the exception. I mean, I don't know anybody that can go, very many hours without thinking their feelings are being affected by what's going on around them. And people insult them, or they're not making as much money as they think they should. I mean, everybody is seduced by the outside world and thinks of it as having power over them. Okay, me too. It's just natural. Okay, but then we all remember. At some point, we remember. So the thing that helps us to remember is remembering that your feelings are a guide they tell you when you're caught up and how badly you're caught up, when your thinking is not so good, and how bad it is. So if you feel bad, feel angry, it tells you that you have a certain level of certain angry thoughts. Now, if you feel very angry, it tells you that your thoughts are at a very angry level. Okay? And people who are exposed to this idea even will have it occur to them, wait a minute, this anger is coming from me, not from the insult. It's just my own thinking. And it's just my own thinking creates a feeling of humility, a feeling of understanding. Their thoughts dissipate. Might happen right away, it might take a while. And then they're left in the moment, in real time, and they have that insight and that new thinking that I referred to earlier. Human beings, this is what it is to be a human being. Caught up in real time. You feel a sense of ease, and you get caught up, and then you get a sense of ease. It's like my old partner, John, from San Francisco. We worked together, and he used to teach Greek dancing. And you have your arms around the other person's shoulders, and you dance to the music. And if you asked him, "Hey, John, teach me how to Greek dance," he said, "Well, just get in line, and you'll pick up the steps." And that's how this understanding is. Just get in line and you pick up the steps. You just have to get the idea of the direction. And the direction is seeing the link between thought and feeling. The direction is taking accountability for the way you feel and for your perception of life at a given moment. Your perception of life will change when your thinking changes. The person who looked like a bad person will begin to look like a character. The situation that looked like a problem will start to look like an interesting challenge. So it's a direction. And that's what this stress DVD is all about for me. It's pointing people in a direction of seeing the inside-out nature of experience and seeing the link between thought and feeling, and understanding that feelings are a part of a larger system that helps you navigate your way through life. It tells you what's happening in your thinking at a given time. And all you can have as a human being is a good model, a good roadmap, like I've been laying out here today. And then you just have a learning curve. So I hope that this, I would be thrilled if this had the effect of you have less stress and as you go through life with this understanding.